Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. After loads of speculation over the last few days, Demon1 has practically confirmed on stream last night that he is no longer part of Evil Geniuses going forward. He even looks at the EG roster as they were practicing yesterday, saying, wow, that's an interesting team, wonder what happened there. Did I get dropped from the roster? What is going on? But clearly Demon1 is out. Boostio is out, Ethan is out. They're making big changes, Evil Geniuses, and another loaded new set of players getting spotted in trials with their roster over the last couple of days or so. But Demon1 is gone. What's his next adventure going to be? Sentinels also playing in a new upcoming tournament. Very much enjoyed to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Firstly, I thought this is kind of interesting. Chamber joined Valorant 2 years ago, yesterday basically as it is now, dominating the meta at the time, and it seems like since Chamber, they've been very somewhat concerned really to add in agents that are going to be particularly powerful. I do wonder whether Chamber is going to make a return to the meta at some point. I know there's been theories about it that maybe if they buff Chamber a little bit more, he can actually become a more viable agent once again. I think he potentially could, but you know, right now with the way that Chamber is and also the Sentinels of Cypher and Killjoy being very strong, there feels less reason to use him when there's other good duelist options as well that you can use the operator with. So yeah, kind of, I don't know, I don't exactly miss the Chamber meta, but I don't know, I kind of miss the Chamber meta a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Now let's talk about the Africa TV Valorant League. So this has been going on for some time, but the finals of it start in Seoul, Korea, I believe in a few days time on December the 5th. So there's some big name teams here, to be honest, and I do very much wonder what teams will be playing for each respective rosters. So this is going on in, as I say, December the 5th. This begins out there in, I think it's in Seoul actually, I'll just check here. Yeah, so it's in Seoul, Korea. This is the prize pool, this is the stadium, and it's been going on since October the 4th with various qualifiers and show matches, but now it's time for the group stages and then the playoffs finishing on roughly the 10th of December. So these are the teams that are going to be there in person. DRX T1 from Korea, of course pANcada are going to be there as well, the new Team Liquid roster, Sentinels from North America, the only NA representatives, EDG from China, Full Sense from Thailand, and then Fancy Esports, I'm guessing here from Vietnam. So there are some big teams here in attendance for sure. I mean, T1 with the changes they've made, DRX, you know, they're always good, at least in tournaments such as this. They played pretty well at the Tokyo tournament race recently, even though without their full team, so I do wonder what DRX will turn out with. pANcada, of course, should go in as maybe the favourites here, right? Let's be honest. With you know, their roster, Monya, of course, coming in, no Jing anymore, but they've been practicing a lot and looking good over the last few days. The new Team Liquid team, Edgewood Gaming, always exciting to see how they'll do because they were tested somewhat in their region recently in China by other good Chinese teams at the top of that region. They still, though, came out on top. But Sentinels, right? They're going to be here as well. This is one of the first big tests because looking at the teams going into next season on paper, you look at you know, EMEA, the Pacific, even China, you can have a relatively good idea what the top teams should theoretically be. I mean, EMEA, of course, you're looking Fnatic. I mean, okay, the second maybe is up for debate. In the Americas, I'm looking at Leviathan, absolutely, the way they played the other day. I'm probably looking at Sentinels, but on recent rumours, I'm definitely also looking at NRG. So this will be a bit of a test for Sentinels to see how they fare against the likes of pANcada and Liquid and DRX and those type of international teams. There is a question though, who are they actually going to play with? What's their starting roster going to be? Is Zellsis still going to be there? Is it going to be pANcada? I don't know. At least according to our understanding over the last couple of days, it feels like Zellsis is now in the team full-time and pANcada isn't. And I can't imagine that it's any other way, given the fact that that's how they've been practicing for the last several days. So I can only expect that's going to continue, and in a couple of weeks' time, they will be out there ready to go for this matchup, probably with Zellsis. I don't know whether pANcada will go as well. They could even swap things around. Definitely possible. These are the group stages, though, so Group A, Group B, and I guess that'll be revealed over the coming days. And then the playoffs are on the 9th and the 10th of December on that Saturday and the Sunday. Pretty similar timing, to be fair, with what happened at the Red Bull Home Grounds last year, where 100 Thieves were the winners. But of course, they're not even at this tournament this time around. Speaking of 100T, though, we did see Boostio over the last few days basically confirm on stream yesterday that he's gone from EG. He was, well, I'll share the clip in a couple of minutes here when we talk about the Demon1 stuff, but he was asked the question, where's he going to go? And he said, oh yeah, M80 Boostio, maybe. But yeah, I'm joining, well, he says 100Gs, so 100T basically. We know that he's gone from EG, there's no doubt about that at the moment. But Nature, who was originally going to be his replacement, at least in the meantime on 100T, he has actually been spotted elsewhere. He mentioned yesterday looking for a team again, and what do you know, Evil Geniuses thought about getting this guy into the mix as well. We've seen loads of players over the last few days, as we saw in this tweet. Shazam, Stella, Corey. Of course, Boostio we think is gone. Even Derek was spotted. We saw yesterday. We saw Derek and Poised and Baby Bay were screwing with Evil Geniuses. So they've got lots of doors open to what they might want to do going forward. But also this one from Demon1. And this is really the big clip of yesterday where he was streaming and he goes to the right-hand side and he goes into finds, you know, what the Evil Geniuses guys are up to. I'll share the screenshots on the full screen here for you guys in a second. But yeah, as he says quite clearly, he ain't there any longer, and he's making it quite clear that is the case.
MAD Boostio, yeah. Now I'm going to Energy.
You guys see that new EG roster though? Sheesh. Did I get replaced? What happened?
So Demon1 presumably quite satisfied that he's no longer an Evil Geniuses. I'm guessing that is at the very least the case. I wonder if we'll ever fully know what happened there behind the scenes, because it seemed clear that shortly after the World Championship, when EG told their roster, yep, we don't really have the money for this, you guys can move in your own direction. But actually, no, you can't, because we're going to lock you under contract jail, lock and key. We might entertain offers for certain players, but for the big guys, that's not going to be the case. Ethan, Demon1, you're not going anywhere. NRG come in with a big offer, EG say no, then all sorts of drama happens and probably they're forced to back down somewhat, to such an extent that Demon1 is now revealing their scrims with their new roster and saying, oh wow, what a surprise, such a shame I'm not there, guys. And I'm sure that given the season that he had and all the drama that Evil Geniuses constantly gets into as an organisation, he's not too dissatisfied with moving on in a new direction wherever that might potentially be. This was the scrim, by the way, so we can see Brax here on the other side of the team, but these are, well, 4 of the 5, because Potter's the coach, I'm guessing, at least in this situation. But again, as I say the other day, we've had Corey, Shazam, Stella, like, you know, try various things from an IGL point of view, Poised, Baby Bay, and Derek. And now we've got, of course, Jorgamo and Con have been spotted everywhere. So this was the thing, like, Jorgamo and Con were spotted in, like, every EG scrim, but we didn't really see Ethan at all, we didn't really see Boostio at all, and we were wondering whether Demon1 was there. You know, we quite often saw 4 of the 5 guys spotted in a scrim, but we didn't see the 5th man, and we thought, well, is it still Demon1? But Demon1 made it very clear yesterday on stream that that is not the case. This time, though, we've got Apoth and Nature. So Nature, after his brief stint on 100T, and to be honest, I think Nature's pretty good. I think it's got a lot of promise, potentially in that IGLing role. Didn't really have the greatest time on 100 Thieves, and to be honest, I think that he would have had to work miracles on 100T to actually keep his spot, because clearly 100T want Boostio, so it's not the end of the world for Nature. I guess he probably hopes that he performed better individually, but I still think there's good potential there. So yeah, Nature maybe to EG after all. So many players linked here clearly, because from an IGLing point of view, they've looked at, you know, Stella, Shazam, Nature, all of these guys. What will they decide? I don't know. But let's not forget, Potter is nominated for Coach of the Year for a reason, you'd imagine, so she should have a decent idea what to do when she sees these teams in practice over the last couple of days. But of course, look, Demon1, Player of the Year, potentially, right? He was nominated for the Game Awards Esports Athlete of the Year, Best Esports Athlete or whatever. Now, there's some good competition in this category, no doubt about it. But yeah, Demon1 is certainly right up there in the conversation after his performances this season. Sure, didn't win that much, but he did win the World Championship. So yeah, this is the tricky part in the Game Awards as well. As we saw the other day, they've nominated both Fnatic and Evil Geniuses as Esports Team of the Year. But you want to win the big one, you know, at the end of the day. And the fact that Demon1 won that in his rookie year with the MVP, definitely the player that you want to acquire right now. And, you know, let's be honest, after 2022, with the way that Ye performed, Ye was such a hot prospect. Everybody wanted Ye, and sure, for good reason. Now, the meta changed a little bit, and even when Ye had his stint on DSG in Tier 2, didn't go so well for him, but now he's on Bleed and presumably looking good going into the new season. So Demon1, definitely a hot commodity, but there's only some organizations that really have the money or the resources to make that happen, and that's why NRG feel the most likely at the moment. Now, just before we close out, I did want to mention just some of the talk around Sentinels, because people still don't really seem to know what's going on with the pANcada versus Zellsis thing. We know that Zellsis has a bit of a history over the last few days of making, players on the team somewhat unwell and therefore taking their spots. Even John QT was falling victim to that the other day. But even this from James the Vev here, where he puts on the VLR. Now that Sen is finished with these side show matches, their main one is in December, the one we saw just a few minutes ago. Curious to see if they continue to practice with Zellsis or now start again with pANcada. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think in the comment section below? To me, it feels like if they've gone this far with Zellsis, they're not going to change their minds. But James Left doesn't seem to know for sure, and I guess we'll find out in scrims over the coming days when they are revealed as to what exactly they're continuing to do. Because if they still scrim with Zellsis come like today, tomorrow, in the next few days, that's locked in as far as I'm concerned. Maybe there's a chance they still change things around. Now they're really trying to prep for the big one, but I think it's relatively unlikely. And just to mention as well, you guys may or may not have applied for NRG's analyst position. I mentioned it a couple of times that Chet had opportunities open to try and be an analyst for NRG. And he confirmed yesterday that, basically, if you missed it, then unfortunately you missed it, and there are no submissions accepted anymore. Well, that does mean at least that maybe he's found some that he's happy with, and someone who applied to be NRG's analyst might well secure that gig. So, yeah, lots of things for NRG to confirm, I'm sure, over the coming days. And, well, there's going to be big announcements, especially if the players we have just looked at are indeed linked, as we might well expect them to be. So, very much enjoyed to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.